Hi, how you doing? Justin here. Today we're checking out an easy beginner version of Fields of Gold by Sting. Now, originally, of course, Dominic Miller, his guitar player, is playing it fingerstyle, but we've changed the key, making it a little bit easier for beginners. We're going to be kind of looking at a strumming one. I might talk a bit about doing a fingerstyle arrangement, but the original fingerstyle on the tune is quite tricky, definitely not for beginners. And even if this is a beginner arrangement, there's a little quirk in the rhythm that some beginners might find a little bit of a struggle at first, but it's not that difficult. It's just a little bit unusual, shall we say. So let's start off as usual by looking at the chords. First of all, keeping the strumming real simple, just to 4 down strums to the bar. Okay, so the intro is just 4 bars of A minor chords. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4. And then the verse starts with A minor, the only A minor, then it's F chord for a bar, then another bar of F, then C chord, then it's A minor, then it's F for half a bar, and then C for half a bar, then it's back to half a bar of F, and then half a bar of G to A minor for a whole bar, then 2 beats on A minor, then 2 beats on F to C for 2 bars. Okay, now let me just stop and talk through that a little bit, because even though I was singing it through, it's a little bit, there's a few weird things in the chord sequence, which is one of the beautiful things about Sting's music, I guess. So let me just talk it through. A minor for a whole bar, F for a whole bar, then another bar of F, and then a bar of C. Then A minor for a bar, then F for 2 beats, C for 2 beats, back to F for 2 beats, G for 2 beats, then A minor for a whole bar, A minor for 2 beats, then F for 2 beats, and then C for 2 bars. Okay, now the second time through, he kind of cuts out that A minor and the A minor to F bar. So the second verse is a little bit different. So I'm going to talk you through that as well. This is a really good idea to write down the chord progressions just in real shorthand form. If you're using my beginner song course app, you'll, of course, it kind of scrolls along, makes it a lot easier to stay where you are. And it's obviously really nice to be playing along with having the bass and the melody and stuff and the drums to help keep you in time and know where you are. But otherwise, you want to make sure that you're writing this stuff down. The second verse then is going to be A minor for a bar, F for a bar, another bar of F, and then to a C chord, then to A minor, then F to C, to F, to G, to C. And then we're back into the next verse. So it just kind of shortens it a little bit, but it can feel a little bit odd if you're not used to it, because it's unusual really in pop songs for verses to have different chord structures, but it works beautifully, obviously, in this song. And the only other section that we need to talk about for the chords is the bridge, which is F. And never made C chord like this, F. And there have been C that I've broken, F. I swear in the C still left, we'll F to G to C. Yeah, we'll F to G to C. Okay, so bar of F, bar of C, bar of F, bar of C, bar of F, bar of C, then half a bar of F, half a bar of G, bar of C, half a bar of F, half a bar of G, bar of C. So all relatively straightforward so far. And again, with these kind of tunes, it's definitely worth playing along with either with the backing track. For this one, if you want to play along with the original one, you need to put a capo on at the 2nd fret. The original one's in the key of B minor. But if you're playing along with a tune like this, it's a really good idea to keep that real simple rhythm at the beginning before you start trying to do anything fancy. Just really make sure that you're solid with the chords and keeping time in an easy way before you start trying to do anything too fancy. Now, the little quirk that I was talking about with this song is that a lot of the chord changes are not changing on the beat. Okay, so where we've got 2 chords in a bar, so like the F, C, F, G parts, the second chord is changing on the and after 2, rather than exactly on beat 3, where you would normally expect a chord to change. Well, you wouldn't normally expect it, but it's just it's a little bit different feeling when it changes on an and the reason is because when we're strumming normally we strum down on the beat and up on the ands. So in this particular song those chord changes are going to happen with an up strum. Okay, so that's where it feels a little bit weird. A great strumming pattern to use for this song works really well is just down, down, up, down. Okay, I call it Old Faithful, but just on the A minor, down, down, up, down, 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 up, down. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. If you're really struggling with any of these sort of strumming patterns, just mute the chord and work on the strumming pattern by itself. So it's really important, you know, with strumming patterns that you practice them until they kind of go on autopilot. You don't want to be thinking about them while you're thinking of the chord changes and singing and the words and the melody and are you in tune? Lots of other things to be thinking about. So you want to practice those kind of strumming patterns just over and over again. Really, the trick is repetition. It's developing muscle memory and trying to get this little kind of bit of your brain to be able to do it without thinking about it. Much like if you drive, the way you change gears in the car without having to think about it. If you've got a stick shift or a manual car, obviously. I'm sure many of you are already familiar with that Old Faithful strumming pattern, but if you're not, give it a good chunk of practice and then have a go at playing through this verse and remembering that the second chord, if there's 2 chords in the bar, will change on the up strum. Okay, so it'll be F to C. Might be worth even practicing just on that, 2 chords. So going F, so down, down, up, down. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. F, down, up, down, 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 up, down. Okay, again, trying to simplify things as much as you can to practice them, doing them slower. Again, you want this to be automatic, so like I can try and explain how to do it to you, but when you're at home practicing it, maybe you're doing this, you try and distract yourself a little bit about thinking what you're having for dinner or what's on telly, or I'm not saying you should have a conversation, this is kind of pushing it even for me a bit, but the idea of being able to develop this little subroutine in your brain that handles the chords and the strumming is a really good thing to be working on. Once you've got that, then have a go at just nice and slowly playing through the verse. So you have A minor to F, F again, to C, A minor, F to C, F to G, A minor, F, C. So just doing it real slowly and making sure you can get those changes. Remember, you should be trying to tap your foot as well on the beat if you can. You'll be tapping on beat 3, but you won't be strumming. Your hand will be moving down. Remember, that's the trick with Old Faithful. Down, down, up, miss, up, down. Okay, so you on beat 3, which if you're used to strumming 4 down strums on the bar, you're really used to strumming a down strum on beat 3, but that's the one that we're missing out. Okay, so there's no solution other than practice, right? That's definitely the way to work on these things, is repetition, doing the same patterns over and over and over and over and over and over and over until you're really bored of them. I know lots of guys that practice this sort of stuff, and fingerstyle patterns, anything else that needs to be automated, you practice it, make sure you got it right, that your technique's good, and then practice it just watching telly or doing whatever you can do anything, because it's just about the muscles, doing it enough times. Now, I said I'd mention as well fingerstyle, because the original one's in fingerstyle. Now this kind of pattern, there's lots of different approaches that you can do, but the main thing that you want to be thinking about is playing the bass note on beat 1. So on the A minor, here, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Here I'm playing the bass note on beat 3 as 4, 1 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, that's a nice little pattern to use. It's quite a common one for songs in 4/4. Keeping fingers 1, 2 and 3 on the thinnest 3 strings, having your thumb playing the bass note of the chord, so the bass note will be on the 5th string for the A minor, it'll be on the 4th string or the 6th string for the F, depending on whether you're playing it with a full bar chord F, or using your thumb for the bass note, or just playing the small little mini bar F. C chord on the 5th string, A minor on the 5th string. I think that's all the chords that we need for this song. okay? But getting used to those fingers, the fingers 1, 2, and 3 on the thinnest 3 strings and that bass note. And then a nice pattern here, the one I was just using there was thumb 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, thumb 1, okay? Thumb, first finger, second finger, third finger, second finger, first finger, thumb, first finger. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and would be the count. Okay, I'll put a little note of this on the website as well. If I forget, remind me, please. Okay, that's a nice little pattern that you can use for this. See, something weird happens now, doesn't it? Because all of that other one, the pattern is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. But we've got a chord change on the and after 2. So we've got. Okay, so we have to adapt at that point. It's the thing that would be trickiest about this song, is just remembering on the first chord you'd only have 3 notes. And on the next chord you're going to have to make up for it, so you'll have 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that would be a nice pattern, would just be thumb 1, 2, thumb playing the bass note, then first finger, second finger, change chords, thumb 1, 2, 3, 2. Okay. Really, with fingerstyle patterns, there's lots of different options. A nice one, another nice one actually on this one is thumb 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. Same pattern there on those changes. Because you need to adapt to the where the chord changes. Even if there were 2 chords in the bar, that original pattern wouldn't feel quite right. Okay, so with all of these things, it's just try a little bit figuring out, trying to go, well, you know, what do I like the sound of? How am I going to do that? What's the best way to approach this tune? And trying a few different things yourself, because unless you're learning the actual part played by Dominic or by Sting, then you're a bit free to try and find the one that you like, that you feel comfortable with, and doing it at the level that you're happy to play the tune. The big deal with all of these things, the rhythm. Keeping the rhythm solid is much more important than if you pick an extra string or the wrong string with your finger. It doesn't matter, as long as you keep yourself in time. Very rarely will anyone notice if something goes wrong like that. It's really trying to keep the timing solid of your fingerstyle playing is much more important than picking the strings in the right order. That's you probably won't believe me until you try it a few times, and if you can keep that rhythm going, you'll be like, oh yeah, I get it. It feels more musical that way. So try and bear that in mind as well. So I really hope you enjoy this. Great fun if you want to go and check out my beginner song course app to play along with having the bass line and the melody played with a dodgy organ and stuff. It helps you keep track of where you are in the song. Feels a lot nicer. Stops you. A lot of people find with these kind of songs, they'll slow down on the hard bits and speed up on the easy bits. So having a backing track is a really, really great way of kind of sorting that out and forcing you to keep in time. You can adjust the tempo on there as well. So if the original recording's a little bit fast, you can hit the tempo button and drag it down a little bit to play it a little bit slower if you're working on your fingerstyle. You know, that's a really, really useful feature of using that song course app. And there'll be links in the description if you're over on YouTube, or on this web page if you're on my website already. I will add some more notes about the fingerstyle and stuff over on the website, so you probably want to go and check that out as well. Do subscribe to my YouTube channel if you dig what I do. I really appreciate your support over here, and hopefully I'll see you for plenty more lessons and songs very soon. You take care of yourselves. Bye bye.